And good evening, everybody. It is Thursday, August 26, 2021. And we just finished the live eviction episode for week 7 of the Big Brother 23 house. I'm Dave Mader, joined with my brother Jeff Mader and co-host Jaemeel Robinson, streaming here live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Or you may be listening to us on the audio version. As we just saw, Baby D, Derek X himself, voted out in a 5-2 vote. With Hannah and Kylan being the two dissenters, even though Tiffany was on a tear to save him, apparently. But then she votes him out. And then, speaking of Tiffany, we also got a live HOH competition tonight, and we saw that the new HOH is the phlebotomist herself, Miss Tiffany.
I am a phlebotomist.
Yeah, she is. And she's also the HOH. And she wins a true to false studying all night competition. And we're going to break it all down. We're also going to update our draft as we saw we've lost another house guest, Derek X, belonging to our friend Sean Simons. And so Sean's out of the pool now with Derek X as he lost his contestants back to back with Brittany and now Derek. So we're going to break that all down. Jeff, how'd you feel about tonight's episode?
A missed opportunity, if ever there was one. It could have been a great moment in BB history to flip a vote when two people were throwing sympathy votes, and all it took was two people who wanted to save the big threat, but decided they chickened out. I don't know why, I don't know how, but what I do know, it was a.
He'll be back.
It was indeed.
Jaemeel,
was indeed.
What happened? I thought that this flip was going to happen. I got so excited. You said 1%. You said 1% chance last night that this flips. This was more than 1%.
Nah, it was still 1%.
Why didn't Tiffany vote to?
Because they didn't have enough votes.
They almost did. Like, what do you mean? Like they had Kylan clearly, and they had Hannah.
That's 2.
Add Tiffany.
That's 3.
3. Okay. One more needed.
Who's the other vote coming from?
Azza.
No.
Why not?
Why not?
It was an opportunity wasted, was it not? All Azza and Tiffany had to do was vote together there, and they could have got Claire out.
No.
What do you mean no? Why? I need answers. We need answers.
No.
Just no?
No.
Why does it serve Azza's game to get out Derek X?
Is Azza playing the game?
No.
Or is she just playing for Xavier? Is that what we think?
She's not playing the game because obviously I saw her performance today, so I don't even count that as a factor at all.
Yeah, well, once she cuddled with Xavier, I was like, oh, that's it. It's over.
It's done.
Well, she's clearly got a thing for Xavier, and I guess, you know, if impressing him or keeping him happy is more important than her winning the game, then I guess how could anything else happen tonight other than Derek X? Now, the other thing too that happened was that Xavier had to go into like this 24-hour sequester as part of his veto punishment. And I had to think tonight that the fact that they couldn't talk to him, the fact that he wasn't available, what is that? The fact that they couldn't talk to him, and I'm hearing like crunching, like packages.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
The fact that it annoyed you so much the first time, I had to do it again.
I was like, I think I'm hearing a chip bag or something. Okay, yeah. So.
You know what type of person Dave is in the movie theater, okay? Just is that a chip bag?
Is that a chip bag? Is that a rapper?
Turn that phone off.
So loud. Yeah,
sir. I say, sir.
Remember when like Sun Chips had that like biodegradable bag and they had to get rid of it because people said it was too noisy of a bag?
I'm trying cheese puffs,
butter and cheese, sweet butter. Sweet butter. Yeah, that's interesting.
Jeez.
Yeah, where's that?
Stacy's pita chips, roasted jalapeno.
Oh yes. Man, we're having a chip fest here.
Where's yours?
I got nothing. I got water.
You got water. You peasant.
I didn't know we were doing this. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Yeah, Derek X. Was all this just a nonsense? This idea that like Tiffany's like, no, we have to save him and he's better for my game. Is this just like the crap they do to tease us, to dangle it in front of our face, like that he might be staying? Because I think I was hoping I think I want Derek X in the game. I think the audience wants
snow,
Derek.
dude. You got snow.
Derek X wants the audience wants Derek X in this game. I think he's clearly a popular player.
Yeah, I think there was two things going on here, Dave. I think one, Tiffany is trying to get off the villain edit and get the hero edit. And I think she knows how to play the game and how to play production. She knows what she's doing. Number two, I think what's also happening is there's posturing going on within the cookout between Tiffany and especially Kyland right now. And I think that's having a massive effect on just like the division. I think they're starting to realize, like they said it tonight, all six of us can't hold hands and walk out the door in the confetti pop. It's not how it's going to work. No. You know, so like they're starting to understand that you can't, you have to play an individual game at this point. It's over. You know, stop playing a big alliance game.
But with that said, will we see what will Tiffany do? Because I thought that Tiffany is one of the more interesting people to win this next HOH. Because it could blow the whole house up. I'm not too I'm not too optimistic she's going to be a great HOH. I think she's like most likely going to get a power trip out of it and potentially sink her game.
You don't think? To me, it's a pretty clear cut nominations.
Put Kai up and Sarah Beth up.
No.
I think my clear cut nominations are Alyssa and Sarah Beth.
Yep.
For her.
Yeah.
Why?
Xavier's on the block.
How does that?
Xavier has to be the third nominee.
Right? He has to be the third nominee.
Right. But okay, Big D has the most BB bucks. He's going to get to flip that coin. Which he's going to do anyway.
Actually, you don't know that.
The coin of destiny?
You don't know that.
I don't know it, but I feel it.
Because they're going to see, I told you guys last week, there's no way they're going to put themselves in the position where someone might not play that game. So they gave them extra money, right? And then plus they have the voting money. People are going to have enough money to do it.
B-Bean saying here in the comments that he thinks Sarah Beth and Kyland, well, of course, Xavier is an automatic as the third nominee. So he's thinking SB and Kyland, like you are, Jeff.
With me. Yeah, he agrees with me.
I think I think that she has tension with Kyland. I think that's obvious, but I think that will she want to be the one to turn on the alliance, and or is it just that it doesn't matter if a cookout member's up there because we have the votes to save them every time, so whatever.
The only thing they haven't explained is if there are three people on the block and one of them wins the power veto and takes themselves off, does that person need to be replaced or just remains with two people?
Yeah.
Okay, the one thing I have a problem with is putting Sarah Beth on the block here, because I think the best thing for Tiffany to do is to make sure I would put Derek, Big D, and Kai on the block together, and Xavier. That
all three cookout members.
Yeah, if I were her, that's what I would do.
Isn't that like that's ending the alliance, right? If you do that.
They have to end it at some point. Like this is getting.
But does it have to be this? Why does it have to be this point?
You're thinking about what you would do. That's not what they're gonna do.
No, I know, but that's what I would do if I were in her position. Because if Sarah Beth is sitting there, I think like Azza is gonna get manipulated. I think Hana is gonna get manipulated. I think they're all gonna.
You think Hana will get manipulated?
Yeah, to stick with the cookout. She's like cookout 6 strong, no matter what.
Because I think Hana believes that she can like survive a lot longer. That she has enough runway.
Right.
I think that Hannah has got a hard path to win. Like
really?
Well, I think so. I think what's her resume? 6? What's her resume?
Who did Xavier?
No, okay, this isn't like Survivor where you need a resume kind of thing.
That's true. You
just need to be in a position where people don't hate you, and that she's gonna have to win something leading up to it, and she could win a comp.
Sure.
Yeah,
right. It's not like we're not talking about Azza here, okay?
Right.
Azza's been more present in the game than Hannah.
No, from the television standpoint.
Right.
But like, does Brittany hate Hannah?
I don't know if any. I think only Sarah Beth hates Hannah.
Well,
But you don't even know if she actually hates her or she just respects her as a competitor.
Doesn't trust her.
Who was Derek X talking about in his speech tonight about somebody's playing a Nicole Franzel game? Who was he?
Sarah Beth. He was talking about Sarah Beth, I think.
That's what I thought too, but I thought it might have been Hannah as well.
I don't think he would say that about Hannah in his speech because he's basically saying, like, I'll come after, if you keep me, I will come after this person who's playing a Nicole F. And I think he's specifically targeting Sarah Beth. Now, is she playing a Nicole Franzel kind of game? I think that's generous, quite frankly, to Sarah Beth.
Hey, if he has that misconception, that's great to eliminate her because once you eliminate her, then it's like, yeah, I made sure that Nicole Franzel Light didn't get to the finals. And
what do you think Sarah Beth thinks about that label that I put on her tonight? Do you think she's going to be happy about that?
I think she's a Big Brother fan, so she hates it.
She hates it, yeah. I'm over it. Okay, so next week we're going to get 6 people voting. So there's a lot of potentials for ties, especially if there's 3 nominees. So we could get a 2-2-2. And I guess the HOH would be the ultimate tiebreaker. That's Tiffany.
But we still don't know if one of the people wins veto and takes themselves down, does a replacement need to go up?
We don't know that. Well, okay, well, here's the other question. Like, I know Xavier is the automatic 3rd nominee, and I don't think that Tiffany would nominate him outright. But let's say that the HOH wanted to make Xavier one of the 2 nominees. They can't because he's already in the 3rd nomination position.
Wouldn't it? Like, I think that would be a stretching of the rules, or like just ignoring the rules.
Well, I think I would challenge production on that because I would say, like, okay, so like I have to nominate 2 people as HOH, and one of the people I want to nominate is already nominated. So
Dave, if you were production, would you allow a house guest the easy way out that way? No way. You have to nominate 2 other people. X is going up there. You can't get.
Ultimately, production can do whatever the hell they want. So it's
they
like,
will.
But I think
No,
that
but
house
the thing
gets
was a 3rd nominee. It wasn't a 2nd nominee. It wasn't, it was the 3rd nominee.
Yeah.
Right, but if I want to make him a nominee, a 2nd or a 1st nominee, even if he's my target, then why can't I go after him?
That wasn't the punishment. The punishment.
But why am I being punished for his punishment?
That's the way the game works.
So yeah, it's the tough break.
Why are you getting punished as HOH that you have to deal with this coin flip of destiny BS?
Yeah, well,
it's just the way the game is. Just
we hear them complain about it, all these twists constantly. I'm just jumping on the train. Like, let's complain about this or that. But it's whatever. It's like I know
you guys are just frustrated because it's like you just see this slow moving car wreck that's happening, and it's like
it's just like we have to it's like we want to skip ahead to week 10 now, right? Because it's like they're gonna get vote out probably Alyssa next, and then probably Sarah Beth after that. And
this is good news. They can do double eviction next week.
Yeah, and then that's when they'll take out Derek F because he'll be their double eviction target. And then the only non-cookout member to survive that will be who? Anybody, or are they all gone after that?
No, from this week and next week.
Claire will be the only one left. So if in my scenario where let's say Alyssa and SB are the 2 next to get voted out. Maybe, right? Or at least one of those 2.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Why?
Because when it comes down to it, Dave, if say Kai wins or Xavier wins, one of those HOHs, you really think they're going to take out you really think they're going to stay cookout strong, those 2 guys, and they're not going to take out Tiffany, who's been annoying them? You know what I mean?
Well, they'll probably take out Claire because I think when they look at it, they're going to say, okay, like who's left? Sarah Beth, Alyssa, Claire, right? And each of those 3 people are respectively close to the 3 leaders of the cookout, if you will, in Kyland, Xavier, and Tiffany. That they're all positioning like who has to lose their player first. Now Tiffany has power this week, so I think she'll want to take a shot at one of theirs. Like she wants Alyssa out or she wants SB out. She doesn't care which. Probably she'd rather get SB out because SB is a more powerful player than Alyssa or a more effective player than Alyssa.
We know she hates Sarah Beth in the game. We know this.
But we know she's wanted to go after Alyssa since before the jury, right?
She's been wanting
But-
to go after SB since before the jury.
Right.
But,
And
okay, we're not asking ourselves the question: does the cookout vote that way, or do they take out Xavier? Does Derek F, Ozza, Hannah, who am I missing? Kylan, I guess. I would just the numbers. I don't know. I could see a flip happening there where the cookout.
Kylan would not want to be the one to dirty his hands to get rid of SB.
no, so he might be okay with Tiffany taking her out. Here,
Oh yeah, definitely.
right. Because everyone sees because Kylan and SB have had
what
power
is,
last 2 weeks.
what is Kylan's end game? Kylan's end game is teaming up with Xavier. That's what his thought process.
He wants to sit a final 2 with Xavier. I think
No,
Xavier
he's not going to do a
wins.
final 2 with Xavier.
But if they were a final 2, who would win?
It'd be close, probably. But Xavier, I think, would win.
I think Xavier wins in a landslide.
Xavier wins.
I don't think it's a landslide, but I think it's.
It doesn't have to be. He just needs to get enough votes, and I think he got it.
Right.
Yeah.
My question becomes here: what kind of Tiffany was alluding to in Ozza? Like they're winning all the competitions, the big guys. Unless it's a true or false trivia competition, the big guys are winning the competition. Are you really not going to take that shot early? Like they said, like well, let's do final 3. You know, Ozza, Hannah, Tiffany. They kind of brought that up tonight. That doesn't include the big guys. Why
would you keep the strongest competitor outside of the cookout around?
Why would you keep?
What comps we have left? We still have Slip and Slide. We still have BB Comics, which is Vito, right?
Do we have to do that one again?
BB Comics?
They always do it.
You don't like BB Comics?
It's just been done every year for so long. Like
so is OTEV.
I know, but at least OTEV changes like the voice. At least.
Well, they changed the comics. That's the whole. Like,
Yeah, they change it around.
It's the same thing, and then they get mad about what their poster is, and I guess it's just fun to see who gets mad about their poster.
It is kind of. How have we not had Zingbot yet? By the way, I haven't even mentioned that. I mean,
yeah, where's Zingbot?
You know what? They might have to do Zingbot first before double eviction, because I do not want to miss an opportunity with Brittany there. Not Brittany, sorry. They already missed the Brittany part. With SB there, and Zingbot doesn't get to Zinger and Kylan.
And Ozza, like Ozza, you suck at the competition.
Ozza, do you love landing on your face? Zing.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's like Ozza. It's very interesting how you play this game. It's like how you fall on your face.
Yeah, it probably will be very close to that.
Comment here from Mary. She says, "I wonder what this last twist is. Like,
The
so
coup d'etat?
after Coin of Destiny,
No, they're talking about the Coin of Destiny.
or what? Or I guess what is the Coin of Destiny exactly?
Okay,
Because
Dave, explain the Coin of Destiny.
I don't know. What is it? Is it coin
Okay.
flip?
All right.
flip.
It's to my understanding, it's a coin flip of power. Let me get the exact definition of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pulling it
This
up.
is
You
the
guys
one. This is what killed Derek X, because as we heard in his exit interview, he was playing a long-term game when he didn't know his short-term game was in jeopardy.
How are you feeling right now?
Obviously, you can tell from my facial reactions. It sucks. I have so much regret from this week. I was thinking about a long-term game when I didn't realize that my short-term game was at risk.
Yeah, Derek X. While Jameel's looking up the Coin of Destiny, it was I was just thinking about Derek X and the fact that the Coin of Destiny is kind of what did him in, right? Because he saved those. Well, kind of, not really. Like he was targeted and he wasn't picked to play the veto, and that sucks for Derek X. But really, like he may have had a chance to play that thing, whatever the power was this week, and maybe that could have saved him, but maybe not. I guess he
I
probably
think
would have beat Alyssa.
What did him in more than anything was not convincing Tiffany and Ozza to vote Claire out. He would have had the votes.
So
I know
all he
that
had, because Tiffany says to him, right, like you have to get Ozza. That's the vote you have to get, and you see him working on Ozza tonight. And she's like, I'm really thinking about it. You've made a convincing thing, and she's even talking about it. But there, like, she was the swing vote. Ultimately, Ozza was the swing vote tonight.
Yeah, seems like it. And why did Ozza not want? Well, because she wants to win a competition. She's not going to win.
No, it's keeping Xavier happy is more important to her. Seems to be.
Well, I think he strategically he did a strategic cuddle and it worked.
Why?
that's
Why?
scary.
Because it worked. You
Yeah.
know you did. You know you did, Xavier. You dirty dog.
Yeah, he did it. He did it to further his game. I appreciate that.
No, he did. It was
So, okay. Coin of Destiny. If someone wins this, they have to call a coin toss. If called correctly, they can go into the DR and secretly replace the HOH noms with noms of their own.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. So so Tiffany could get this HOH may not even be Tiffany's ultimately.
But it technically wouldn't it be great? You get you can go on the block. Technically, your picks could be taken away from you, so you get no blood on your hand, and you're safe this week.
What if Xavier wins it?
He can replace the two other people. He's still nominee,
but he can still be voted out if he's safe.
You need money. You need the
no,
money.
it doesn't. If they say that it gives him HOH powers, that's different. I don't believe it says that. He can replace the HOH in terms of their nominations.
I don't understand the legalities of these twists and which twist trump which other twists. Like it's like
he would have to take himself off the block via a veto.
What if he had won this HOH tonight? Would he have been the third
next
nominee?
week would have been his
Yeah.
He would have had to do it next week. So
yeah.
Okay.
That's what the twist was, yeah.
Yep. So if he wins it, he can put two other people on the block with him, and then he'll still have the veto. If I were him, I wouldn't put Kai on the block because there's a chance that Kai might not play in veto, and you have an easier path to win when it's just you. What if SB wins?
What happens if she wins it?
She will be mad.
She will be mad.
I mean, what if Kai wins?
Yeah, that's what she means. Then I think, Tiffany might go up because it's secret, right? This is the cool thing about this twist is that it is secret. It's anonymous, and so say somebody in the cookout wins it and goes, it'd be a really nice opportunity to take a shot at Kylan or Xavier, get one of those big guys out.
Yeah.
What if Derek F wins it?
That's the big question for me.
He puts up Tiffany and Azza. No, he can't put up Tiffany. He'll put up Anna and Azza.
Why would he put up Azza? He's like that's his closest ally.
Because women.
He doesn't like women.
Yeah.
And he'll do it for the lulz.
Okay, I also did poll. Derek F continues not to be able to vote in the DR.
Who could that one person?
Oh, wait, sorry, that's not the right quote. Derek F, where are you? Derek F.
Hello, Big D.
Yo, Julie, what up, baby?
Please cast your vote to evict.
I sadly to evoke Derek X.
Evoke.
Thank
said
you.
evoke.
Shout out to Philly. Make sure you watch the regular show. And shout out to
I'm
my
not
gay
going
fans.
to. I'm not going to. You telling me to follow someone on Instagram, Alyssa? You telling me to listen to these people? I'm not going to. Stay in your lane, play your game, and stop with these shout out business.
Wait, why was he only shouting out his gay fans? Why not his straight fans? Or
well,
his,
because
pansexual fans.
His pansexual fans.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Or all sexual. Are all sexual.
His
orientations.
marginalized straight fans. How dare he?
How dare he? He's marginalized. He didn't call out the marginalized gay fans. He just said all his gay fans.
What about all those fans that aren't from Philly?
Yeah, I don't know. And why does he?
Well, they're marginalized because they're from Philly. Love you, Mott.
He doesn't vote. Like he votes to. What does he say?
I vote. I vote to evoke.
Vote.
Hello, Big D.
Yo, Julie, what up, baby?
Please cast your vote to evict.
I sadly to evoke Derek X.
I sadly to evoke.
Evoke.
Two questions. Two questions on this. Is he doing this on purpose? And number two, is as production said to him, look, it's vote to evict. It's
evoke.
3 words. Yeah.
He's calling the corners. Haven't you watched The Craft before? He's evoking the corners.
I do think he's doing it on purpose so he can say, I never voted to evict anybody. I voted to evote.
I never said I voted to evict you.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my god, he's just the silliest guy sometimes.
So he's doing a fake vote, a literal fake vote.
Well, I think there might be something to what Jeff's saying. Yeah, like maybe he's doing this on purpose. Maybe not. Maybe he just doesn't know how to get the words out.
No,
I don't
know.
We're putting up cue cards.
He's had 7 attempts now, right? He's had 7 votes, and he
does it at the same time. The same time he does it every time. I don't think it's a nerve thing.
Mary's saying he thinks he's just a nervous guy.
But he does it the same way every time, Mary. Like it is odd, is it not? Like maybe it's just
I
like
just-
a.
Mary, I get tongue tied, right? And if I'm in a situation where I have to say something and I keep messing up, I'm gonna slow down and then say it properly.
Yeah, Derek F.
So next is coming a supercut of him voting.
Well, yeah, I do have like at least one more clip where he like voted to vote somebody, but it was also weird. Like I have the Derek X one, and then sorry, I'm just looking here for where it is. So many of I have so many Derek F samples, but I can never find it when you guys are looking at me. So. Oh, here it
Too
is.
many clips there.
Hello, Derek.
Yo, Julie, what's up?
Please cast your vote to evict.
I sadly to a vote the beautiful Whitney.
And Julie
Vote
is
to
literally
evict
telling
Whitney.
him.
Got it. Thank you,
You know,
Derek.
Thank you, Adam Lawrence here.
Julie's telling him like, cast your vote to evict. Like she could.
He has to repeat it. He has to just repeat the words and then say a name.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I think he's doing it on purpose. I think he's trolling. That's what I think.
I don't know. This is controversial. Controversial here. We'll have to. That would be the biggest thing I would have asked Derek F in like an interview. If that
You should apply for interview.
if we ever got the chance to talk to him.
Yeah.
that would be fun. The other thing I just wanted to mention too before like just this, we talked about the Derek Eggs interview and where he was like, I was playing this long-term game and I kind of got burned. I didn't see Sarah Beth being the one to take me out. The fact that I was the one who I lost by milliseconds. And if he had not tried to go over that shortcut in the HOH first, if he hadn't lost those 5 seconds, he almost certainly would have won this HOH this week. But
if he played in the spin and not have been like, oh, I'm gonna save all my money, he wouldn't have been that productive.
Yeah, like so hindsight's 2020, like he could have done a couple things here differently, but he didn't. He also got put on the spot tonight about Hannah and the showmance. Let's hear that.
Does that mean outside the house, the two of you might start dating?
Expect the unexpected.
Ooh, Derek X. Oh, I love it. Throwing that back at me. All right.
I
Don't
knew
go
you
too
were-
far. I
okay.
have more questions for you after we get off the air.
I knew you were gonna pull that clip when
Yeah.
she did that. And
Derek
then-
X.
Do you also have the Destiny one, Dave? Did you get that one too?
No. No,
Oh,
I-
really? Or you have
Oh.
to go back and get that one.
So
What?
Like-
Destiny. When she did that, you didn't see that?
No.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, dude! You have to go back and get it. Please.
like seeing Julie's reaction to Derek X, he is like PETA from the Hunger Games. It's like, this dude is a star.
This guy is
great."
amazing.
It's like PETA from
Derek
District
X, may I
12.
call you Baby D?
Yeah,
Baby D.
Stanley
This,
Tucci.
this dude is all stars bound. It's locked.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
locked.
It's locked.
Well, and everyone likes Derek X. Like everybody, the audience likes him. The house guests like him.
You like him, Dave?
I do. Like, how can you not?
Well, there you go.
Except tonight, okay, I get like maybe holding the hand of the fellow nominee, maybe for solidarity, but it did seem odd to me that like Claire had his hand and like planted firmly on her lap, which seemed like for a long period of time. And I don't know if I would be comfortable with such a thing. Did anyone else notice?
And
No.
why is I don't know, like this whole Hannah romance thing. I don't like. I agree with Jaemeel. Like, yeah, if they are going to do it, they're going to do it after the show. But like, it did seem like the Claire thing was also kind of an awkward thing. Like, I think maybe she actually really liked Baby D, as it were.
Probably.
Yeah, I think there was a few people with crushes on him. He's all these things.
He's
but like,
bishy. He's bishy.
yeah, but like while we're we should just update our little draft here and have a look as we
Ozzy's
cross
still on
off.
the board.
Ozza is still on the board. She went 12th overall, and I don't think she's the next target. But we are crossing off Derek X here from our draft tonight. He only went 13th. He went really late, actually, in our draft.
Because they didn't give us much information.
We didn't have a lot of information. We went before we had anything. This was before the first episode we had to draft. And you can see there, that's kind of our order. So now not even half of the house guests are gone. It's only 7 of the 16 have been voted out. So it's we still got a lot more game to go, it feels like.
Yep.
I got 2 players left. What?
Yeah, and just to look at who's got who. So I only have Xavier left, but I'm feeling pretty good with Xavier still. I still think that was a strong pick. Daryl, our friend who has been on this show, Kyland and Claire are his picks, and I feel like those aren't bad. You know, he originally picked Christy, and then Claire was like a substitute for him. And then Amanda, Jeff's better half, got
Betrothed.
Derek F and Tiffany. How's Amanda feeling about her picks?
She's just going for Tiffany. She doesn't care about Derek F.
Doesn't care. Derek F's a bonus.
No, I think it's a detriment.
Detriment, like
Yikes.
negative. She
And she
regrets having him.
Yeah, and she picked Derek F first. So
Yeah, there you go. Tiffany was her sleeper. Okay, and as
Yeah.
we mentioned a little bit at the top of the show, so Sean is the victim of this week, losing Derek X. He lost Brittany and Derek X in back-to-back weeks, so he's out of this pool. He's out. And Jaemeel, you have lost Christian some time ago, thanks to Derek X, but you still have Azza. You're holding on for Azza to win this for you.
Second place, baby.
Yeah. No, Jane's got Alyssa. I don't think Alyssa's winning. Does anyone think Alyssa's winning?
No, she's not.
Only if Xavier drags her to the end and everyone hates on Xavier.
Yeah, but
You know,
I don't even think that seems unlikely. And then Jeff, Sarah Beth, and Hannah. You feeling good?
I kind of imagine those 2 girls sat at the end together. Who would win?
I think
Why?
SB will win.
I think SB would win too because I don't think the cookout would be. I don't know.
I think a lot would have to go wrong for SB and Hannah to be at the end.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it seems like an unlikely final 2, but I would be in for it if it happens. You know, like, but I'm of course I'm pulling for my boy Xavier, who I think is going to do well here.
Hey, X could give it to you, the win.
Yeah, if I win with that first pick, I feel pretty good about it. So,
is Kylan gonna is he gonna do well here? Do you guys still think I feel like there's gonna be a blow up between Kylan and Tiffany sooner than later. And I think it's because Amanda and I were talking about this, that Tiffany is one of these players that is got all the chess pieces and she's running around everybody, kind of like Derek X was tonight. And like, oh, we do this, we do that, blah, blah, blah. And then Kylan hypnotizes you with soft, buttery.
Why are you saying that?
Well,
Yes, my child.
Yes, my child.
I don't think that's the blow up. The blow up, I think, is gonna eventually be Xavier and Kylan, because Xavier is gonna be tired of Kylan trying to whammy people and him Xavier having to keep everything together. Because that's what Xavier's job has been so far, is just keeping them together. Someone fights, I have to glue it back.
The cookout would have blown up a long time ago if not for Xavier.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know if Kylan has any credit in that situation. It seems like you can tell there's tension. You can tell there's tension between Derek F and Tiffany. That's a thing. And
I just feel like everyone else is kind of said okay and just taken some humble pie and let whoever they wanted to get eliminated, and Kylan's had a little bit more say in what actually happens.
And right. I think Xavier's kind of been identified with being with the pretty people, like we said from the beginning of the show, that he's been with the Alyssas, the Christians, the Sarah Beths. He's been in that group more than Kylan has. Kylan's been more with the Claires and the Tiffanys. That's who he was with anyway, not so much anymore.
Okay, who do you think will get targeted first, Xavier or Kylan?
Kylan.
I would imagine Kylan, but Xavier, if Xavier's sitting on that block, how do you not take that shot? It's on a silver platter, to quote Xavier.
Yeah. He's like, we're going to eat it all. Well, that's what you do with silver platters. That's how I eat off silver platters. I don't know about clearly how Xavier does too. I want Kylan out of this game. He is boring the living shit out of me every fucking week. I need this guy gone.
Strong language, Dave. Strong language.
I know. I don't usually go there, but
what bothers you so much about Kylan? Because he gets his way in a very
gets his way all the time. He doesn't bring any entertainment to the show, and everyone just loves him apparently for no reason.
Yeah, he's the wrong guy to have power because as a TV character, because he is so calm and there's no emotion. He's a robot and nobody wants to watch a robot play this game. It's an emotional social game.
Sigbot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Zigbot's going to get Kylan good.
Yeah, like if he's even awake for it. I think that the fallout with so Mary's saying here that I think the fallout with Kyland and Tiffany is going to come. That's the reckoning. But like Kyland and Azza had that huge blow up, remember? And like so, there's plenty of cracks in this Cookout alliance. Like
I do think Kylan is the center of it. If Kylan it doesn't get backdoored like in a double though, and like he sees like the eviction coming, does he keep the secret alive with the Cookout? Does any member blow up this alliance?
DF for sure. DF don't give.
DF is the most likely to, which is why they want to get rid of him first, but only in a double because they're afraid of how he might blow up games and
they want to get him out at 6. I think that's the plan. Get him out right at 6. And so that way he can't blow it up to any member
or like best
or 7
opportunity
or 7
or 7.
If let's say for example a non-member of the Cookout, let's say there's Cookout and one non-member of the Cookout are there in 7 and that non-member wins HOH, you have them put DF on the block and you vote out DF, and then that person doesn't win HOH, can't win it, so automatically they're going to be on the block and be eligible to be voted out.
Yeah, I guess
Hey,
the question is like for Mary though, like when is the time for Sarah Beth to go? Like how soon do they target her?
Now
or next week, right? Now. Why wait? Like if you're Tiffany, like what? She has no allegiance to Sarah Beth. So and Sarah Beth only serves to make Kylan stronger, not Tiffany stronger.
I would love to know if DX thinks that Kylan controlled SB's HOH. If Derek X believes that it was all SB, then that means that Franzel conversation is going to be brought to Brittany. I don't believe Brittany had any care for SB, and there you have two people feeling that SB is something better than she was, right? You get rid of SB, next she's the third person on the jury. Is she going in the jury and going, I know I wasn't that good? Right?
No.
You're not going to say that if someone says, oh, you were really good.
Well, she won an HOH and she got out Derek X. So in her mind, she's a great player. Right?
So therefore, she's going to acknowledge everything that people believes in terms of bias, and that just makes Tiffany look good.
Question here from Newfoundland is, do you think the Cookout is going to explode this week?
Nope.
No, it's going to happen around 7 or 8.
Well, yeah, 7 or 8 people left, right? Which would just be the week after next.
The only people who should blow up the Cookout is your Azzas and
would he use it? Okay, good question here, because you were saying like Kylan might be happy for Tiffany to be the one to take out Sarah Beth, right?
Well, that would be ultimate betrayal to say Sarah Beth will never vote for Kylan. She will be mad.
But he would have to win like the POV by accident, right? Like he wouldn't win it on purpose.
Right. Well, maybe. Yeah, but
he's
they already
begging to not be in that POV.
Sorry, yeah, they already did the POV thing where you do the punishment and then you could be handed the POV. So he's not going to win it that way. Yeah, he probably just throws it. You're right.
Unless he feels like he's a backdoor target or he has some reason to suspect that he needs it.
If he's on the block, he's not going to be a backdoor target.
If he, no. So like, I don't know. Like Kylan just might just play it cool this week, and we barely see him. Although he's such, like you got to imagine that like when Sarah Beth gets nominated, if that's what happens here, that you're going to see a lot of her talking to Kylan in different edits. Maybe
he's good. He should be. A lot of players this season should be politicians because he's good at just deflecting and making whispering sweet nothings into your ear. And he's good at it, like, and so is Xavier. Xavier's learning too. He's doing the same thing now with Azza. Like they're all kind of playing that game. And I think it's bothering Tiffany a little bit too. Like I think she sees the influence that Kylan and Xavier both have over two girls in particular in the house, Azza and Sarah Beth, and she's not liking it.
And Alyssa,
yeah. Like Tiffany is starting to understand she's losing control of this house. And
Well, that Kylan and Xavier are going to run away, and she's not going to, like, even if she somehow gets to the end with one of them, like they're going to say, we were running the cookout and we had all the power and we were calling the shots and this was our ideas. And it's going to be hard for her to argue against that, at least up until this point in the game. Now,
Well, Tiffany, if Tiffany wants to dispute that, she needs to put in work to make sure that Azza and Derek F is able to sing her praises, but I don't think she has any option with Derek F. That's why it's important that she loops in Hannah. I keep on saying Hannah.
You got me saying it too. I call her Hannah now too.
Yeah. To sell her to the jury.
Yeah. I think that Tiffany's realizing that she needs to control the narrative about what she's done, what kind of a player she is, because if she's seen as sort of just like a passive person who got carried along, which I don't think she is, but if she's seen as that by the jury, then that's a problem. Here a question from Mary. She says, I want to ask you, how do you all feel about this season so far? Is this a good season, a bad season, an average season? Where does it rank for you, Jeff?
I'm going with bad for me. Just because every time I want something big to happen, it doesn't. It's a disappointing season. I wouldn't say bad. I would just say it's disappointing. Because I like to watch the house not get its way, and the house keeps getting its way every single week. And there's no swings and there's no blow ups, and they keep teasing us, like you said, Dave, and nothing happens. And for me, those are the worst seasons for me. I didn't like, everyone loves season 16 and stuff, but like after Zach Rance left, I hated it, So like,
it's very methodical.
Yeah, I don't like seasons like that. I want to see swings and blowups. That's why like Winners at War with Survivor was so great, because it was so unpredictable who was going to win. So that's why
smarter players
Almost won that one.
Jaemeel?
It's an incomplete season, so I can't. This is the part that really lulls a lot of the time for seasons, and it usually goes into a direction of either paint by numbers or a really excited finish. So I don't really want to judge it for this middle section right here, when we were faced with a situation where there was a big alliance, but like how it falls apart and gets to the end is going to be the exciting portion of it.
Yeah,
like I think it does happen.
I think like players like Xavier and others, I think, are why you're frustrated, Jeff, with it, because they don't allow any foolery, right? Like we would maybe see more blowups, we maybe would see more swing votes, but he has been so effective at like saying, no, that's dumb. Why would we vote? Why would we keep Claire and like, or keep Derek X and not vote Claire? That's dumb. Like, it's on a silver platter. Are you out of your minds? And he's persuasive, maybe because he's an attorney. He's just,
I'm getting lawyer vibes.
I'm getting military vibes.
Yeah, he might. I don't know what his full background is. Maybe he comes from that.
He's giving me lawyer vibes.
One thing I appreciate.
Sorry,
what's the one thing I appreciate about Xavier is that he's honest to us in the DR. At least he's not bullshitting me.
No.
And he's like, that's the one thing I do appreciate about him as a player. I don't think he's as amazing of a player as you're making him out to be, Dave. I think he's good, but a lot of the time, I think things are just going his way because Tiffany's honestly the one that I think kind of making it happen for him.
But Tiffany wants to go off the path. She wants to keep this person instead of this person all the time, right? And she never gets her way. I think because maybe I'm giving too much the credit to Xavier exclusively, but I think that he's at the apex of like that decision-making power. His influence on the house is immense. I think Kylan's house is almost equal.
Well, both those guys are really they don't even need Tiffany. I agree, but at the same time, Tiffany is kind of she could blow it up every time. Like I keep hoping that she blows it up, and then she doesn't, because she knows that it's better for her to get to 6 because she's not going to win any physical competitions. She won tonight, and good for her. But the problem is with those two guys, she has to take a shot at some point because they're going to take the shot at her when it comes to it,
Yeah. And Mary wants to see the quiz. Okay, a couple more questions we have here, guys. From Sam, he's saying, is Tiffany allowed to play Coin of Destiny if she has the BB bucks?
Well, she has what 50 from last week, right?
Yeah,
And
you're gonna
then
need like probably like well over 100 to play.
so I doubt she's going to get 100 from the votes. So that means she's going to only end up with what, possibly maximum 200. So
Yeah.
she doesn't have enough.
She'll be short. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other comment here from Jay. He's going, Sarah Beth is a mean girl. Passive aggressive, expletively deleted. Derek X kindly allowed her to keep that $5,000 after she begged and then told America she's sending their boy home with a glee. So Derek X was an idiot to let her have that $5,000, right?
I just want to eat that.
Yeah.
Eat it up.
She is
Yeah.
a
What?
great villain. Fantastic
great villain.
because she's like the villain with a very quiet, soft-spoken voice, but I will cut your throat.
Yes.
You know,
Hi,
like
everyone.
yeah. And that's, I mean, it's a great character. I mean, yeah. you can't
I
deny
will
that.
You kindly, no. Derek X kindly didn't allow her to keep the $5,000.
He was guilty.
Derek X didn't have backbone to
Right.
take it.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't be. Yeah, he couldn't have a meanness in him. Couldn't
And
have a
since
selfishness.
That's not me. Like,
Yeah.
people understand the differences between being mean, right, and not being mean.
Well, it's not
right?
mean,
Playing a
mean,
game.
but you got to be a little mean back to her. Like, screw you, Sarah Beth. I'm keeping the money.
It's like, you win HOH next week. I'm taking my $5,000.
She even said, according to Jay, she even said in the DR that she would win this season and not Derek X. I can't stand her phony ass. Is she phony?
I don't think she's phony. I think she's straight up with how she feels about these people. Right?
Yeah.
Everyone's phony in the house. God, like, look, at the end of the day, like, these people aren't bad people, right?
No.
They're just playing a game where they're in opposition and their personalities may clash, given the impression of people getting hurt feelings or people not appreciating people's reaction. But it's not like this is Russell Hands burning people's clothes, right?
Maybe that. dude.
Sarah Beth isn't saying this is the dumb guy alliance I'm dealing with here, right? Right? It's none of that. So you can't take, like, when people take stuff personally for gameplay. Nah, man, you gotta put that aside.
In fairness to Russell Hantz, and it's not a comment I thought I would be saying all the time, but he always did that stuff in the DR of Survivor. Like, he always told us what was going. He never went up to he did, and here's villains. But
It didn't work out so well.
Didn't work out so well for him. But in Samoa, like, okay, in the house, lie as much as you want. Like, you know, my problem is they're having a hard time lying in the house. They have, and in the DR, they'll lie to the audience sometimes. Actually, I find Sarah Beth isn't lying, Xavier's not lying to us, Tiffany's not. But then I get like a Hannah, you know, where I feel bad about slitting.
Do you think that people have become worse liars in, like, the new generation is not as good at lying and deception as maybe some of the older generations?
I think it's quite possible that the millennial or the Gen Z generations are a little bit more gun shy than they were when this first started. I definitely feel that way.
I think there may be something to that. Okay. The other comment here and question from Mary was about this BB Bucks. They were all getting envelopes and they had to open up the envelope later.
So at least 50.
So they're all getting 50?
At least 50.
But this is separate from the BB Bucks they would have got this week?
Correct.
Or so maybe Tiffany does have enough to play?
I think
No,
a lot of people are going to
she had 50 because she played the first game and she only got 50. She was down to 0. Then she had last week's where she got 50. So if she got, let's say, 100, there's no chance she's going to get 100 from votes. Then, like, people are voting for Claire. They might vote for Alyssa and they might vote for Sarah Beth.
Okay, I just want to make because I like this whole, like, the envelope thing that came up tonight. I was like, okay, so they're getting envelopes with BB Bucks. I also liked how, or I didn't like it was like a B with like a line through it, like a dollar sign. They're like, this is this is the currency denomination. Like,
looks like Bitcoin
symbol?
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know why they did it anonymously? They want to put a vagueness that there's a possibility that anyone could have enough money to play. Because if only 2 people have enough money to play for the coin flip and the nominations change, then it's like it's only those 2 people that could have done it, right? And if one of them is a non-cookout member, it like the fingers automatically pointed to them. Now, if there's more people with money and you can like vaguely, hey, what happens if someone gets $200? It makes things a lot more interesting, right? All of a
Maybe
sudden.
like I'm just I can't keep track of who's got how much money and what they're going to do with it and how much this is even going to cost to play.
So Mary, she got 75 and then she used 50 for the first game. So that means she would have 25, 75, and then, well, she could have 275 if she got $200, 100 from the envelope and 100 from the vote. I just don't see Tiffany getting $100 from the vote.
Who decides the envelope?
Yeah, it seemed like production.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, and then Sam's saying, like, if you want to make this high rollers thing or this the whole BB Bucks twist, then what? Like, when you get evicted, you can send your bucks to somebody else, just like with the fire tokens in Survivor. You were able to send that on to another player, and I don't hate that idea. I think that that's an interesting thing to do.
Yeah, because I think DX could have given all his money to Claire, or
to Hannah.
He would have split in half and given it to. He does not want that smoke.
Why? Right? He's out of the game.
So what's the conversation he's having with Hannah? If he does hook up with her, it's like, why did you leave Claire? It was like, oh babe, it was just strategy.
I mean,
it's just strategy.
She's one to talk about whether or not why he did something or she did something. You know what I mean? Like he has
to answer that question.
Okay, we got a prediction here from Jay, who's saying, like, he's saying the final 4 will be X, Kyland, Azza, and Derek F.
Final 2 confirmed for Azza.
All right, so then my 2 girls won't be there, Jay says.
Yeah, he's saying that Hannah and Sarah Beth will be voted out before the final 4.
I can't wait to see Sarah Beth get voted out, though, because I do think she will be mad, and I think she's going to be especially pissed off when she finds out about this whole alliance, because I just don't think she's going to take it well.
And I will be mad.
Sarah Beth and Brittany will be low-key mad about this and just like, oh, so you guys had this racial alliance that never made. I think there's going to be like 1 or 2 people that are not going to like it at all.
Of the house guests, you mean?
Of the house guests, yes.
Who do you think it will be? Would you think Sarah Beth?
Brittany, for sure.
Brittany.
Yeah.
Brittany, for sure.
I think Sarah Beth.
She won't care. She won't care. Huh?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I think Sarah Beth, too, just because I think unless she's told in the house before, which she won't be. Right?
No.
I don't think she'll be told.
It amazes me that Derek F and Azza have been so good at keeping this under wraps. Those 2 particularly, because they seem like the 2 to spill it to Brittany or whoever else.
What were you gonna say about Brittany? I'm sorry, I cut you off there, Jim.
Brittany, and who would be the next one? I think everyone else will take it in stride.
Yeah, even Sarah Beth?
No, it has to be SB.
I would be upset.
I think Claire would get over it pretty quickly.
Claire, I don't think Claire will think that's why she lost. You know, I think she'll have a different opinion on why she lost rather than Sarah Beth and Brittany for sure.
Brittany for sure. Western New York eyes. Right?
Shout out to my hometown.
Shout out to Niagara Falls, New York.
Eyewitness news.
Nobody shouts out.
Woman rants downtown Buffalo.
Shout out to Niagara Falls, New York, my hometown.
Oh man,
it's like, wait, does she officially live in Niagara Falls, New York? Because it's very weird for people to say that. Is it like me saying I live in Toronto when I don't live in Toronto?
It might be. Toronto. Well, she claims to be from Niagara Falls, New York. There are people who live there, so it's possible.
Is it in one of the boarded up houses, or is there something I missed?
Like, my mother-in-law lives in Lewiston, New York, which is right like borders.
But
Niagara
does she
Falls.
tell people she lives in Niagara Falls?
No.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Unless you don't say you're from there unless you're from there. I think. But she's basically from the alternate 1985 of Back to the Future. That's where
That's what Niagara Falls, New York is like. It's like
Yeah.
Hill Valley and
There's
the
a giant
alternate-
casino, Dave. Tell me if this analogy is not apt. There's a
Yeah.
giant casino. Trump probably owns it. There's
like
there's
the
a-
American side, the Niagara Falls, New York side is not as fun as the Canadian side, objectively.
fun.
Yeah, less fun, less objective.
All right.
Like and maybe more danger.
Yes.
Definitely more
So-
danger and
Yes.
definitely a hell of a lot more drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's drugs
Anyway.
in the Canadian side, but the American
Right.
side is
Yeah, it's kind of we know lots about it. We're from that we're from the general region, although on this side of the border. Yeah.
Plus, there's no
Yeah.
good pizza in Niagara Falls, New York.
no.
You go to Tonawanda, you go to Buffalo.
There is
Right.
there is some good pizza. I think it's in Niagara Falls, New York. It's like the sheet pan pizza you get with like little hot dogs on it. It's pretty good.
Is Military Trail considered Niagara Falls, New York?
It goes Military Road. Yeah, it goes through Niagara Falls, New York, partly. It also goes
Does-
into Lewiston and. Other
But does
places.
it count where the outlets are? Is that Niagara Falls proper?
That's still Niagara Falls. The outlets are out in Niagara Falls.
Okay. I'm going to give Niagara Falls some credit.
Yeah.
It has my favorite wings place, which is Buzzy's. Check it out, Niagara Falls Boulevard. That's the place I go. I travel from Toronto to eat their wings. I love
I
Buzzy's.
got to find out what that place is that Jane and I went, because there's like a place in, I think it was either Buffalo or Niagara Falls, New York. It was one of those two.
Pan
and-
Pizza.
Pan pizza, like the
It could be Lenova. Lenova is a really good good pizza place. Lenova.
Yeah. Very good. Oh,
Sammy's
Jane's in the
Pizza.
comments, and she's saying it's Sammy's Pizza. Sammy, is that or Jane? Sorry, Jane. Is that
That's
is that
in Niagara Falls, Canada. That's the one we get at Jerry's.
No,
Unless
it's
it's a different
on the
Sammy's.
American. It's on the American side. We went to.
Oh,
I
there's
think
two Sammys then.
Jane, where was that? Is that Buffalo? Is that Niagara Falls? She'll come back.
I know there's a Sammy's in Niagara Falls, Canada. And it's
Might as
got the
well.
little tiny pepperonis, really good.
Yeah, the little tiny pepperonis is what I.
Yeah,
and it
that's
was
in,
kind of.
that's a
I
Jerry's.
asked, have you
backyard.
all had a Lenova pizza?
She's saying it is. It's Niagara Falls, New York. I had some great pizza in Niagara Falls, New York.
Okay.
So,
Well, after this, we're gonna look at Barstool Sports to see if there's a review for Sammy's Pizza.
Sammy's. Yeah.
We'll check it out. We'll check it out.
It reminded me
everyone-
like it was very homemade.
Everyone knows the rules. One bite. Everyone
bite.
knows the rules.
Oh, there is one, yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot. We've covered the eviction. We talked a lot about Niagara Falls, New York. We've talked a lot about Derek X, and now we have this jury. What's it going to be like with Brittany and Derek X in that jury house for a whole week? Is Derek
I think we're not getting a jury segment until the week until
till the week after? Until there's three of them.
either Wednesday or Thursday next week. If Thursday's a double eviction, we're getting it on Wednesday.
Do you think
Wednesday
that
and
the double
Sunday.
eviction could come as early as this week, week 8?
Why not?
Well, I think she would have teased it tonight, right? Or maybe not.
No, they would do it on
Sunday.
they would do it on Sunday, wouldn't they?
Usually.
Maybe. It would at least be by the beginning of the week. But it's
Yeah, so-
often done a week ahead. Like if they know next Thursday would be a double eviction, they usually
Especially because Julie's not going to be there on Sunday.
yeah. I
So
feel like
it's the week after then.
week 9. I bet you she'll announce it a week from tonight, like when we're wrapping up the next eviction. We'll be talking about the next.
So Thursday is going to be jury segment.
Right. So I guess like looking ahead, like we could get like kind of a boring Tiffany HOH where she just like takes out Alyssa or Sarah Beth or something like that, or it's maybe not that, where maybe the coin of destiny comes into play here.
She
It's something
puts up Derek F and
she puts up Derek
and
Evans.
David Kylan.
Yeah.
So all three of the men on
just
the cookout
all
are.
her allies will go up for the,
She's like, I'm burning the cookout down.
it's straight to the ground. Maybe like so, but I think no matter what, I think that week 9 has to be the point where this game has to start moving around, where the players
say.
like, I would think, right? Like, like we keep saying, when's the cookout gonna blow up? When's this gonna implode? I don't think it's this week. I think it's maybe at the earliest, it's the week after.
7. I say 7.
And you're saying even a week beyond that until when there's only 7 left. So after next week, we'll have 8 left, and then the week following 7 left. Only one can win. Anyway.
One survivor. There's the beast is hungry.
Oh my God,
They're thinking about glory.
They're thinking
Glory
the
to
beast
you
is back.
and your house.
We're back, and the monster is hungry.
Where have you been?
Oh, I can't wait to follow that
You've
music.
been 26-day season. It's gonna not be as good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, and so is there anything from spoilers to announce? Like, is there anything?
We've been talking to you. I haven't looked at spoilers.
If anyone in the comments knows anything, let us know. If there's, I don't know, it's probably just conversations that Tiffany's having with about her initial thoughts. So last week we knew that Sarah Beth. We were hoping that Sarah Beth was going to do something crazy, something dynamic. No.
Oh, Reddit's already at play.
What did I say about Big D there? Sadly, to evoke.
Okay, so I do actually have a spoiler, Dave.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me hit the spoiler warning. Let's get it in there. Spoiler warning, and damn it, so many clips now. Spoilers.
So, Tiffany was having a conversation with Hannah and Claire, and she says that I just told Kai I'm gonna have to put him up next to her. Her meaning Sarah Beth. I was right.
So Kyland and Sarah Beth are her initial targets.
We'll see. We'll see come the episode.
Right. But like, isn't, I don't know. I find often more than not that when you hear those kinds of things, like right after an HOH competition, they often do come true. Now, sometimes the plan changes, but maybe more so with Tiffany, that potential is going up because her mind seems to be going always in different directions. But by the time they get to eviction night and the vote, she's always like on the side of reason all of a sudden or something.
Yeah, it's true. You know what's funny is that right after she won, guys, and right after the thing, all the girls went into the storage room and started dancing, including Claire. But no Sarah Beth. There was Azza, Tiffany, Hannah, and Claire all went and started dancing.
So what, is there a women's alliance happening then? Or what's
that's what I'm saying. Tiffany
Wouldn't that be a twist? It's
Tiffany is not loyal to the cookout. She's loyal to wherever the wind is going in the house, and it's smart. It's a good gameplay.
Would you not laugh if it just flips and is like, you just see everyone just turn around and it's like, sorry, there's an all women's alliance. You guys are gone.
Yeah, you can Xavier and Kylan. Oh, it would be rough.
The salt.
I would love to see Kylan and Xavier lose their minds in the DR. Like
Well, I'd like to see either one of them face like the slightest bit of adversity,
right?
The slightest bit of not getting their way,
right? Kind of like this is why my problem was with like Derek's win. Like, he didn't have to deal with even sniffing the block the entire season. And yes, that's good gameplay. But at the same time, like, was he ever in danger? Ever? No. So like, I think I don't like applauding people who win like that because they got lucky. Yes, they played well, but they also got lucky,
Right. But there are now 6 women and 3 men left. And technically the women can have the numbers to run them out.
Well, and Derek F is the GOAT, so you keep him. And, if it's like, Derek's Angels, I mean.
So if you're Tiffany, could you be thinking, why not take out Kylan ahead of Sarah Beth?
Or put up both of them, because obviously Xavier's already up. So put up Kylan, and then, put up Sarah Beth, and whoever wins the veto, or I don't know, you just get the numbers and you make sure Kylan or Xavier goes home. You don't even need to do that.
Will Xavier still get to vote? He won't get to vote if he's on the block, right?
No. On the block.
So how many
votes?
votes?
He needs to take himself out.
So there's only gonna be 5 votes next week.
Yeah, instead of 7 this week. Yeah, so there will be
unless
a 3-2
he takes
vote.
himself down.
Yeah,
but then is there a replacement? Probably not.
You don't know.
What you don't want is Alyssa winning. Yeah,
in the past, we've seen when a third nominee takes themselves down, they're not replaced typically. That's my observation. I don't decide these things, so who knows what this production will decide for this year. But I think a third nominee would, if they won the veto, would not be replaced. I think.
Well,
if you won veto,
if
you won veto, are you taking someone down?
Yeah. I don't know. It depends who it is. Like Alyssa would obviously save Xavier. Kylan might not save Sarah Beth, depending if Sarah Beth's going home or not. But
Well,
yeah,
if he's feeling vulnerable, like why would he save Sarah Beth over himself if he's on the block? You know.
well, if he wins the veto, he's safe, Dave. Right? So
Not if he's but if he's a nominee and he wins the veto, he can take himself down or he can take her down. Which one's he going to do?
right, he's gonna take himself down. Right. So that would be the best case scenario for Kylan because then there's no blood on his hands. You know?
Right. And then who would Tiffany in that? Who would she put up next to Sarah Beth? Like
Alyssa, probably. Right.
I guess.
It kind of
Maybe-
forces the guys to pick a side.
Or do you put Big D up?
No.
No.
It depends on the votes. You know, you need 3 votes, right? So she needs to make sure whoever the 3 votes that stay off the block,
Thank
you know, will vote the way she wants.
You
basically.
put up Alyssa against Sarah Beth. You tell Xavier you want to save Alyssa, right? You got to vote for Sarah Beth. Kylan has had it too easy where he's got to have his number one stay in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's time for him to feel the pain that all of us have felt, right?
Right.
Go to Kylan if you want Alyssa out, which I doubt you would.
Because
and
now,
say,
now Hannah has lost Derek X, and
Yeah.
like Brittany or Azza and Derek F lost Brittany.
Yeah.
So it's like it's your turn, Kylan, or it's
I
your
was
turn,
willing to give
Xavier.
up Claire both times.
2 votes and a tiebreaker. Well, it depends on how many people are on the vote and who's voting and how what comes around Thursday too. There's a lot of variables here. But
Yeah, because you're right. There might not be 3 people sitting on the block at the end. But I think back to season 15, Dave, one of our favorite seasons, a cherished season, if ever there was one.
Name
where-
Alyssa Riley.
right, exactly. Gina Marie, you know,
Nick!
how can we forget?
Nick, you with this cup, the cup he
But
left behind.
If you remember in that season, they did 3 people on the block, like for the majority of that season.
But there was a scenario where Alyssa won the veto, took herself down, and she wasn't replaced, right, or
That's
something
right.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happened before.
It was
So-
America's favorite player or whatever thing.
Yeah. So like I don't like when there's 3 nominees. Quite I think it makes it weird, especially when it's like this automatic punishment thing. It's kind of like
He didn't have to play for it.
no, he didn't have to, but it's they didn't have to put it in the game at all, but they did. So
Yeah, you're just upset because you have Xavier and you're pulling for him to win. But the fact that he made that boneheaded decision of making sure he won that veto, Dave, is great. The fact that he has to deal with this punishment because you're saying, like, have to deal with a little bit of adversity. Well, it's great that it's self-inflicted adversity, but I think we haven't even talked about like his whole get up in solitary and like when he came out and he was. Like,
I've
do you
been
think that was
seeing
a
that.
strategy? Do you think that was a strategy he was?
They were
doing?
playing a game where he was dressing up as like an alter ego
Right.
and modeling before.
he said peace, love, and cocoa power.
Right. He made me laugh. Actually, I thought like a lot of his stuff was really clever and stuff. And
During the HOH thing, he actually picked his hair.
Yeah. Well, like just when he's coming down, like okay, the have not room. I forgot it was all the way up there, and when he was coming down, Julie's like, "We're on live TV," and he was doing like his strut, like his disco stew kind of thing. Like
he was Disco Stew.
yeah, he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I was like, "Why is he dressed like Disco Inferno?" He was Superfly.
Yeah, he was Superfly. That's good. Yeah.
Well, I liked it because I'm like, come on, X, have some personality. He's always just so business. He's always on like right to business, and he was a little bit more relaxed here.
If Xavier's business, what's Kylan?
Yeah.
He's I'm Ben Stein.
He's like the DMV or something like that.
Bueller?
He's like the sleep clinic. I'm going to lull you to sleep now. Like those sleep apps you can get. He should.
He has an ASMR podcast.
He is the least entertaining house guest in a long time for me. So it's just I'm over Kylan. He can't go soon enough in this game for me, or start doing something interesting.
I guess you're
I
replaced
wanna-
by Glenn from Big Brother 15. Is it
I
Glenn
wanna see-
15?
Yeah, I want to see him get upset. Like I want to see Tiffany drive him to the point where he gets upset because he's so calm, cool, collected that I just want to see someone.
If
break
if
them.
if Azza couldn't do it, I don't know. Maybe Tiffany can, but like it's remember like that. He was like, maybe we can just agree to reset and be peaceful with one another. Yeah, Mary's with us. Mary finds him boring too. So
I think he's bothering the players. Like we've seen, especially Tiffany. I like kind of get into it with him. I think over the fact that he's so like nobody's arguing that. Nobody said that at all. What do you mean? Like he's like constantly doing that, and I just think Tiffany's had enough.
I think sometimes she just wants to have it out with people, like she did with Derek F. Like, and just get things off the cards on the table. And Kylan will just never let you do that. Kylan will never give you that opening.
He has that passive aggressive. Let's stay calm. You're an asshole.
So yeah, it's like, but it doesn't feel genuine either. It feels very like calculated and sort of,
Yeah, for sure it does.
Anyway, so I don't know. I'm excited to hear where we're going to be on Monday or Sunday, when we'll be back to talk about Tiffany's HOH. Will she do something interesting here? Will she not? I don't know. But we're going to find out. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode tonight. Yes, just to plug out all of our other shows, check us out here. We'll be back Sunday night to talk about week 8. Also, and then of course Wednesday and Thursday next week. Also, coming up next week on Super Mader Brothers podcast, we're going to be covering Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings for our Marvel Cinematic Universe content. We haven't actually booked that podcast in, but we will.
We have not. You guys have not bought your tickets.
We'll get the tickets. Like it's not.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. I can go.
I'm not in Brampton. I'm in Burlington, where no one goes to theaters, so it's not too concerning.
You need to see it in a proper theater.
I'll go to a theater. I'm not worried about getting a seat that much. Really.
Yeah, he's saying IMAX. You need to go see it in IMAX.
I don't need to
I'm
go
not
see
saying
IMAX.
What do you mean you can't see?
I don't even go see Avengers in IMAX. I'm not going to see Shang-Chi.
Dude,
I did.
Wait,
I saw Endgame in IMAX. It was great.
Thank you, Jeff. Come on,
I'm
Dave.
not trashing it. What's wrong? I don't go to IMAX that much. It's not.
Why?
It's not.
This is the reason why you would go to IMAX.
It's
in
it's
Ancaster.
further.
Not that far.
I don't know Ancaster.
Go up to Milton. Just drive straight up.
Ancaster's faster, especially for him.
Whatever. We're gonna see it and we're gonna talk about it. And then
do not take Dave's opinion seriously if he does not watch it in a premium theater format.
No,
I don't get.
I
don't get how we got on this. All right. So also check out on our other channel, Trivial Debates. We're gonna be back on for our monthly show on Sunday. Jaemeel Robinson hosting. Let's bring that in and just plug it. We got get that in. And boom. There we go.
We gotta get some music for when we're plugging. That's what I think.
So
do.
I can give you the Trivial Debates music. Where is that?
Lord.
Here we go. All right, now we're plugging.
Oh my god.
So check out Trivial Debates on Sunday, August 29th, 10 a.m. maybe. We'll be debating all kinds of things about movies, TV, sports, and more. Okay, that's the Trivial Debates theme song. And also, what am I forgetting? Live Long and Podcast, our Star Trek theme channel, where we talk about Star Trek multi-times a week, new and old. Monday nights, Star Trek, the original series with our dad, Jeff and I's dad, Ted. We also do Tuesday nights, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, with all three people you see here, plus the Kevin and Ashley Millard, the tag team couple, as we continue every episode of Deep Space Nine in order into season 4 right now. And then heading into every Thursday, as we did tonight, we talk about Star Trek Lower Decks, which is the new animated series going into its second season. We're doing that with Davin Skellhorn from Locutors of Trek, another Star Trek podcast, and Jeff and I's second cousin from Nova Scotia. And lastly, my son's podcast, Let's Talk About Fighting Games, which you can find on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That is specifically about fighting video games. Okay, I think that's it. So we'll be back Sunday. Have a great weekend until Sunday at least, and have a good one. And who's that? Like a leprechaun?
No, it's the Mad Hatter, dude.
Oh, good job. All right.
Brittany.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we need some Julie to take us away for
Did you
tonight.
get tonight's?
Destiny.
I didn't get the Destiny.
Gotta go
But
back. Gotta get it.
You got tonight's, right?
But I think just this whole little exchange with Derek X, I think, is what I want to go out on. So here we go.
Does that mean outside the house, the two of you might start dating?
Expect the unexpected.
Ooh, Derek X. I love it. Throwing that back at me. All right. Don't go too far. I
Okay.
have more questions for you after we get off the air.
Okay.